All right. I suppose this is just a further assessment of the sort of fallout of the saying that there is, well, of Attorney General Pam Bondi saying that there is no Epstein client list, right? And just the sort of sheer bungling that's like happening here of the Epstein files, broadly speaking, I would say, right? Like, Jack Posobiec, who did like the whole sort of like binder song and dance, I think also with like Chaya Raichik, Liz Wheeler, DC Drano, it's like Roger O'Hanley, I think his name is, and like a bunch of like other dipshits who were doing like who did like, oh, we got the files, look, soy point and shit like that, saying like, oh yeah, look, we got the binders, which were like basically like completely redacted and nothing was like released. It was just a complete shit show. So that's cool that Jack Posobiec, I guess, is going back on that. Whatever. Megyn Kelly, we got Laura Loomer, Glenn Beck, Benny Johnson, all are calling for Pam Bondi to resign. Of course, we talked about Bongino before. I think Kosh Patel has also said that he's might resign if Pam Bondi isn't gotten rid of. But I mean, also like Dan Bongino also talks about it's not just the Epstein file shit because again, Bongino's only saying this stuff because again, like he came up in like the sort of conspiracy podcast world, and that's why he's like big and famous. And he's honestly, I think like part of it is like Dan Bongino just wants like an excuse to not do any more work. Let's be fucking honest here, bro doesn't want to do any more work because it's just like, guys, it turns out to be a fucking state bureaucrat is actually it's pretty difficult. A lot of work you have to do. But well, that's a complete different sort of meme. And all these people are all just again like people who've come up through the sort of like Epstein conspiracism world, and it's just like you guys are like shocked Pikachu facing about the fact that whoa, crazy that Donald Trump is trying to cover up the fucking Epstein file stuff when we know about all the fucking interviews he's done before with Epstein. He's done fucking uh sort of like he's given them like fucking birthday wishes and birthday cards. He fucked Melania on the Lolita Express. Jeffrey Epstein on the Fire and Fury podcast said he was his best friend for like 10 years and stuff like that. We know all this stuff. We knew all this stuff before, right? And like everyone's just like saying like, dude, he's always been in there. What the fuck do you mean? How do you guys not know any of this stuff? But again, this is like sort of the sort of like conspiratorial sort of like rabbit hole, right? And the sort of like main reasoning for as to why the sort of like MAGA base is like it's a fucking cult, right? They really thought that that dude who we've always known has had ties to fucking Epstein was gonna be the main guy fucking exposing the goddamn pedophiles. But I mean, it's a broader sort of like consequence of like things I've talked about before, like uh death of education, critical thinking, general sort of like mistrust within like, media sources and stuff like that has led these people to see Trump as like this strong man messiah figure who's going to be able to carry them to the fucking promised land of I don't know, like insert Bible analogy here, the promised land of like Israel or some shit. You know what I fucking mean in terms of like the stupid sort of analogy that I'm going with here, right? Like yeah, they fell for the propaganda sort of like conspiratorial rabbit hole meme. Like that's what happened to these people because again, like for lack of a better term, these people are incredibly like close-minded individuals, death of fucking subjectivity kind of a deal, and it's just like, yeah, dude, like you expected like a dude who's a part of the elite to be the one who ends the elite deep state pedo fucking cabal, like come on, dude. Like that was never gonna fucking happen, right? Like Donald Trump, first and foremost, only cares about. I only care about one thing and one thing only, and that's numero uno. We even got Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is also. I've talked about him before. He's also fucking come out and said like how it's been incredibly incompetent, mishandled, and also like came out against like the sort of like fascist propagandistic line, saying like, okay, you say it's like it's not a big deal, but you had the like all the stuff on the files on the table for like so long, like what the hell is this? Like what's going on here? And well, I guess this is like a sort of like recent update. Like what do we got here from Big Matt Boy here? The Attorney General said that she had the client list on her desk. The White House made a big show of giving binders marked Epstein Files Phase 1. This is true to a bunch of influencers. Now they tell us that there is no list and we should stop talking about it. Well, then why would you say that there was a list? Again, Matt Walsh is correct here. Like, yeah. Man, it's almost as if, like, Donald Trump is, like, I don't know, sort of, like, sowing he is not reaping the sort of seeds that he has sown about the sort of, like, campaign promise that he made about wanting to make the Epstein files, like, released to the public, because he's in it. And he only did that for political purposes, to gin up his more conspiratorial, like, right-wing base. That was the point of it. Why did you pull that stunt with the influencers? Why did you call it phase 1? Obviously implying that there were more phases to come. I also say this is, like, it was very, like, Twitter Files-esque hired. Like, not hired, but, like, handled. With, like, this whole, like, phase 1 stuff of, like, the fucking Twitter Files. And that was, like, a complete shit show nothing burger. Like, nothing came of the Twitter Files. It was so fucking stupid. If you claim that this is all normal, above board, and honest, you're being extremely obtuse. We're Americans. We don't accept obvious bullshit from our political leaders, and we don't move on from a topic just because we've been instructed to do so. Matt, I have bad news for you. You've done that before in the past. You're no angel when it comes to this stuff like this before, okay? Well, let's be honest here. What is this? Listen, as much as, like, as annoying as, like, fucking Elon is, he's correct, man. Like, whoa, an actual, like, not a terrible fucking meme here by Elon? I can't believe I'm saying this. He's correct. He's right. If anything, he's the one who's going to fucking benefit the most from this. Because, again, he's, like, trying to do his, like, third-party fucking shtick. And he's going to, like, potentially gain quite a few, like, supporters with his, like, third-party stint that he's trying to do. And this could be a big problem for the Republicans, especially in the midterms. But, you know, that's cool. And let's be honest here. Like, dude, like, you've went along with the instructions before. Don't pretend you're above board, Matt Walsh, okay? I've come back from vacation to learn that Epstein apparently wasn't an international child sex trafficker, even though he was arrested for being one. That's true. There's no client list, even though the Attorney General said she had it on her desk. Also true. He did kill himself, even though the video proving this point was edited. Also true. We found the metadata on that, highly suggesting that that video was cut out. No prominent or powerful people are implicated, even though dozens of them have flew on his plane to his pedophile island. That's also true. And the whole issue doesn't matter, so we should move on and never talk about it again. Wow, I'm glad that's settled. It's so... I don't know, man. It's just fucking crazy and ridiculous that we just find ourselves in this position. I'm loving it, okay? Like, McDonald's, I'm loving it, blah, 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 blah. That this is, like, sort of, like, happening. I'm sitting here, you know, maybe I should go get some fucking cereal, start eating my goddamn cereal. I bought some fucking cereal. Can't do the bit because I don't have any cereal in the bowl. Fuck my life. God damn it. And, like, again, I'm just gonna, like, sit back and let the fireworks happen at this point. All these fucking influencers, they have big fucking audiences. They talk to a lot of fucking people. And they're all gonna be pissed. They're all, like, a bunch of, like, conspiracy theory sort of, like, podcasts and stuff like that. And incredibly far-right people. The core base of Donald Trump. And that and all the other unpopular shit that he's currently doing at the moment. Like, it's not looking good for our big man for potential electoral sort of, like, you know, outcomes. However, the only saving grace for Trump in this particular instance is that he's going up against the Democrats. And the Democrats have, well, fumbled even, like, gigantic sort of, like, I don't know, like, gifts like this before. Like, I don't know. It's also, like, potentially not ridiculous to say that something might fucking happen to bring them back in line, and Donald Trump might bring them back in their good graces. But I don't know, man. Like, this was something that was very deep and intrinsic for them in terms of, like, you know, the Jeffrey Epstein files. When I said that this is going to be, like, a potentially just ginormous hit for Trump, like, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that stuff. Like, to be honest, like, it's gonna, like, this is bad for him, to be honest. And we got fucking Fuentes here. I'm not gonna play the clip, but Fuentes even says, "Fuck you, you suck. You're fat. You're a joke. You're stupid. You're not funny. This entire thing has been a scam. We're gonna look back at the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in history. The liberals were right. We will see Trump as a scam artist." I mean, it's really funny that he's saying this, despite the fact that Trump, like, did a crypto fucking rug pull before he came into office and made billions of dollars off of it. And also, he's the same dude who had 6 failed businesses. Like, now you recognize he's a fucking scam artist. But I mean, listen, like, Fuentes has done this shit before and has come back in line before. So again, like, take anything that this dumbass fucking has to say with a grain of salt, okay? He's like 9 times out of 10, like, mostly fucking completely full of it, right? He's very fucking cynical. But again, a lot of people are going to, like, lose faith in sort of like Donald Trump and MAGA. And to be honest, like, Fuentes himself is probably one of the main people who's going to benefit from it. We all remember the guy with the fucking candle lighter who's just, like, you know, trying to, like, light up the whatchamacallit, the MAGA hats that were doused in, like, fucking kerosene or whatever, right? We know about that, right? Like, that dude said he was like, "Oh, fuck MAGA, I'm now America first." He's slated to fucking benefit quite significantly from doing stuff like this. So there's also, like, a monetary gain here for Nick Fuentes as well. Like, that's not also ridiculous to say. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, what else really is there to say? Like, yeah, I don't know, reaping and sowing. That's really all there is to say about it. This is going to be a catastrophic fallout for Donald Trump here, and people are going to keep talking about it because people are going to keep mentioning it over and over and over again, and you're just going to keep not answering that question, and it's going to dig a deeper and deeper and deeper hole for you. But again, like, is it entirely possible that people sort of, like, forget about this and, like, move on to the next thing? Maybe. I don't think it's ridiculous. Like, the American people do seemingly have the memories of fucking goldfish, for fuck's sake. So, I don't know. Like, it's one of those situations where sort of like conventional wisdom would indicate that this is going to stick and it's going to make Trump look really bad and potentially suffer. But the Democrats are, like, incredibly anemic and weak and pathetic. So who the fuck knows if they'll even be able to take advantage of this? I mean, I know Ro Khanna is going to keep introducing the same amendment over and over and over again until the pressure mounts to such a ridiculous degree that they have to fucking do it. That's at least the thought process of it. But I don't know, like, Republican politicians are complete utter cowards and pathetic fucking losers. And, like, they're probably not going to break. They might eventually, but they're not going to do it, like, right away. They're still, like, too, well, loyal, I would say, for lack of a better term. I don't know. It's more so just going to have to keep waiting to see how this sort of, like, plays out, kind of a deal. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? Like, anything can sort of, like, flip and change on a dime. And honestly, like, there's, like, so much that could potentially happen at this point with this sort of, like, a fallout of the Jeffrey Epstein files, for, like, I don't know, lack of a better term, that, you know, anything is, like, more or less possible at this point. Like, and well, the only person who's going to suffer the most is going to be Trump about this. So I don't know. I guess I'm, like, okay with that, with that knowledge in particular, that Donald Trump is going to suffer the most from this. So again, we'll see what happens. See what plays out, yada yada yada, all that good kind of good stuff. I don't know. I think that's really all I got to say about this, to be honest.